Hey guys, Wade Willis here for my playthrough of Fate Stay Night. I'm on the Fate route. Stuff is getting real crazy now finally. Emiya, he is staying at school way too late. We already know kind of what happens here, but he stayed too late helping Shinji, who's a real dick, to say the least. And we all know that the servants are about to do a battle royale at the school, and he's there trapped with no servant. And yeah, guys, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to follow this visual novel. Let's go. Jesus Christ. Uh-oh. The wind is blowing. It's so cold that my cheeks are getting numb. Fuyuki City isn't usually cold during the winter, but it's cold tonight of all nights. My breath hangs around as a white cloud. I wrap up my body to hold the cold off. The moon doesn't really make it very warm. There's no light in the sky when I look up. Because of the strong winds, the clouds are moving fast. It's past curfew and there's no sign of life in the empty school. It seems this place is only filled with chill, as it's all silent. Just now, I think I hear something. This night, I must have been curious about the sound that broke the silence. To investigate, I find myself heading there even though I somehow know that I mustn't. Not a smart move. I go to the schoolyard. Well, they only look like that from a distance. It's a dark night with no light. If I want to know more, I have to go closer to the schoolyard. I hear the sounds louder now. It's the sound of metal hitting metal. That must mean someone is fighting with weapons here. I dismiss the image from my mind with a bitter smile and walk on. At that time, maybe my instincts notice the danger as I hid myself as I approach. I don't know if it's fortunate or not. But anyways, when I get by a tree that is big enough to hide myself, I take a closer look at the source of the sound. Dang! My mind stops completely. There's something strange there. A man in red and a man in blue. They're dangerously armed, as their ominous appearance suggests. They actually are slashing at each other. I can't understand. I can't follow them with my eyes. My brain doesn't work properly, faced with their impossible movements. But the clang of their weapons tells me they are trying to kill each other. I just knew immediately when I saw them. They are not human. They are probably things that look like humans. I can tell not because I'm learning magic. Anyone would realize they're not human. After all, humans can't move like that. And there is something no one should associate with. I can feel their murderous intent from the distance. I'm going to die. My body understands faster than my brain that I will definitely die here if I stay here. That's why my heart is racing so fast. As a living thing like them, I sense that they're living things made only to kill. They're using weapons made only to kill. I remember the murder yesterday. They said their family was killed with some weapon, something like a sword. I shouldn't watch any longer, but my body won't follow my commands, and I can't even breathe. My mind wants to run away, but my judgment tells me I'll be seen the moment I run away. More than the conflict within me, my body is just numb. Even though I'm over 40 meters away, I can't breathe properly, and it's like I have a spear pointed at my back. The sounds stop. The figures separate, standing, facing each other. The moment I feel the relief at the end of their battle, I sense an even stronger intention to kill. My heart stops. The numbness in my body becomes convulsions, and I clench my teeth and try to hold my trembling body. An overwhelming amount of magical energy is flowing into the guy in blue. Karitsugu once showed me what it is like to draw in magical energy from the surroundings. It was a beautiful magic that impressed even an amateur like me. But that thing is different. Just as even the simple task of drinking water could seem ugly if it goes too far, what he is doing is so excessive that anyone with knowledge of magical energy would hate it. He's going to die. The guy in red is going to die. It's a blow with that much concentrated magical energy. There's no way he'll be able to survive it. He'll die. He's not human, so something merely like a human will die. That's something I just can't ignore. That doubt takes my mind off them. It binds my body to disappear. And in the instant I take a deep breath... Uh-oh. The guy in blue stares at me. Who's hiding? The blue guy's body stinks. Just that motion tells me that I'm his target now. My legs start running automatically. I finally realize that it's an action to escape death, and I put all the energy into my body into running away. Run, Forrest, run! I don't know how fast I ran, but before I knew it, I'm in the school building. Baka! I regret my actions, panting heavily. I should have run into town to get away. What am I doing fleeing to such a deserted place? Yeah, dumb move. And a school of all things. Isn't there some better place to hide than here? Yes. Anyway, why do I think I'll be killed if I don't escape? My heart aches from running so much. Turning around, I can sense nothing pursuing me. The only sound in the air is the sound of my footsteps. So I can finally rest. I stop my feet, unable to take another step, send oxygen to my pumping heart, and look up to finally realize that I'm safe. A baller, that's what it was. I recall the scene from earlier while I catch my breath. Anyway, I'm sure that it wasn't something I should have seen. Some things like humans were fighting in the school grounds. That's all I can remember. But there was something else I saw out of the corner of my eye. But I can't remember what the figure looked like. To be honest, I didn't have the composure to notice anything other than those two fighting. Oh no. The voice comes from right in front of me. I can't breathe. My brain stops, and even though I cannot think, I vaguely understand that I'm going to die. Yup. How nice. The lance is casually raised. Dang! And the man's lance mercilessly pierces Emiya heart. It's just a flesh wound. There wasn't even time to dodge it. All the training I did was for nothing. I knew I was going to be killed. I knew I was going to be pierced by that lance, yet I could not move at all. The world distorts. My body grows cold. Feeling vanishes from my fingertips. I cough up blood once. That's not good. It's usually not a good sign when you cough up blood. More blood should have come up, but it only happens once. Perhaps the man's lance is special. The blood slowly clots, and the heart that should have exploded working with just a single pierce. I can't see well. There's no feeling in me. I feel like a jellyfish floating in the dark sea at night. I don't feel any pain already. The world is white, and only I am black. So rather than feeling like I'm dead, it's more like the world around me has disappeared. I know this. I felt this 10 years ago. This is how someone feels when dying.
弱いやつがくたばるのは当然といえば当然だが。
I cannot concentrate on my vision.
まったく嫌な仕事をさせてくれる。このざまで英雄とは笑い草だ。
I can only hear voices.
分かっている。文句はないさ。女のサーバントは見たんだ。おとなしく戻ってやるよ。
A voice filled with irritation. And after that, I hear footsteps running through the hallway.
アーチャーか。蹴りをつけておきたいところだが、マスターの方針を破るわけにもいくまい。まったく、いけすかねえマスターだこと。
The voice suddenly disappears. I guess he jumped out of a window or something. And after that, footsteps approach me and stop. In that brief period, more footsteps. I can't hear much now.
追ってアーチャー。ランサーはマスターのところに戻るはず。せめて相手の顔ぐらい把握しないと。
Whose voice was that? I concentrate my fading mind, but I can't remember anything. Right now, my breathing is too noisy. My lungs must still be alive. The air coming out of my mouth is as loud as a hurricane.
その割にはまだ死んでないってのはすごいな。
I sense someone looking at my face. Perhaps my breathing was loud as the figure tries to close my mouth and...
やめてよね。なんだってあんたが。
I hear the person grit their teeth, and they touch me without hesitation.
破損した臓器を寄贈して代用。その間に心臓一つ丸々修復か。こんなの成功したら時計塔に一発合格ってレベルじゃない。
A pain-filled voice. With that, my mind stops fading. Feeling returns to my body. Slowly, bit by bit, like a drop of water going down a leaf, feeling returns to my body. What is the person doing? The person is sweating and places their hand on my chest with all their heart. When I notice, the place where the person placed their hand is terribly hot. It must be so hot that the frozen blood melted and started to flow again. I sense someone taking a deep breath and sit down.
疲れた。
I hear a clang of something's falling.
まあ仕方ないか。ごめんなさい父さん。あなたの娘はとんでもなく薄情者です。
And that's it. The person speaks to mock themselves and leaves. My heart resumes its activity, and then my mind stops. This is not the sleep of death. This is a restful sleep to recover the energy to wake up again. I wake up. I feel sick. My whole body is in pain, and I have a sharp headache each time my heart throbs.
何が起きた。
You got prison shank to go. I can't remember because of the sharp headache. My body is cold, probably from lying on the floor for a long time. The only certain thing is my ripped uniform and my own blood on the floor. I get up with a hazy head. The spot where I was lying looks like a murder scene. It was a murder scene.
本当に。
Had my chest pierced? Bearing the pain, I enter the closest room. Moving to the locker with uneasy steps, I take a mop and a bucket. Of course he does.
何してんだろう。おい。
I was gonna say the janitor's gonna be pissed when he shows up, but now we see Emiya's freaking cleaning after he gets stabbed in the chest. I'm still confused. Why do I still think I have to clean up when I've just met something totally outrageous and been killed instantly? And I'm an idiot?
くそ、落ちない。
I wipe the floor with a mop. With unsteady hands, I manage to get the blood wiped off and pick up any trash lying around and put it into my pocket. Maybe I'm destroying the evidence. I'm still in a daze, so perhaps that's why I'm doing something so absurd. I put back the mop and bucket and leave the school like a zombie. I get hotter as I walk. The air is so cold, but my body feels like it's burning. Homie just walks all the way home after... When I get home, the day has already changed. There's no one home. Neither Fujini nor Sakura is around. I collapse on the floor, lie on the ground, and finally calm down. I take a deep breath. When I inhale, my heart cries in pain as if cracking apart. Ugh. No, that's wrong. It wasn't just cracked. It had a hole in it, but it healed, and the wound tries to open up again when I inhale. No, that's wrong too. I wasn't almost killed, I was actually killed. But I'm still alive in spite of that because someone saved me. Since the person was there, the person might have something to do with them. But that makes no difference to the fact that the person saved me. And thanks to them, I have to thank them one of these days. The moment I let my guard down, the pain returns. At the same time, I feel like vomiting. I sit up and resist the sickness. I place my hand on my bare chest where the uniform is ripped. Even though I was saved, I did have a hole in my chest. That feeling, such an unpleasant feeling, a spearhead entering my body, isn't something I can forget easily. Yeah. If I close my eyes, it feels like the lance is still in me. I shake off that illusion and try to calm down. The result of all that training every night. Just taking a few deep breaths clears my mind, and the heat and nausea vanish from my body. A man in blue and a man in red. They looked human, but I don't think that they were. Were they like ghosts or something? But I've never heard of ghosts with form able to associate directly with people. And they were talking too. If they have their own will, it's hard for me to think of them as ghosts. I've heard that only ghosts with bodies are spirits, but aren't they shaped differently from humans? There's another fundamental problem. Those two were killing each other. The murderous burglar that appeared in the neighborhood. The ongoing ominous events in Fuyuki City. All I can tell with such thoughts is that it's way out of my league. Perhaps because the wound in my chest is so vivid, I can complain about things I shouldn't. Complaining comes later. First, I have to decide whether or not it's my concern. The bell hung from the ceiling rings. This is a magic's house, even if only a poor one. There's a boundary field that alerts me when a stranger enters the property. As I speak, I realize my foolishness. I can't believe it. With this timing right after that strange incident, that can't be it. There's an intruder. Not a burglar, but an assassin who's here for my life. Because I remember that guy saying, "You saw, so die." The house is filled with silence. The silence, darkness, the murderous intent I felt at school is slowly drawing closer. My throat gulps. I feel a sharp chill running down my spine. I will be instantly pierced if I move from this room. I frankly contain the scream about to escape my mouth. The instant I realize it, the assassin will happily jump in and take the opportunity to kill me. If that happens, it will be just like before. unprepared of will be pierced by that lance again. The moment I think about it, my breathing goes wild. Damn it! I'm ashamed that I'm about to give up my saved life so easily that I'm afraid. Gritting my teeth and holding my chest, I try to restrain myself. I should get used to it. This is the second time. I'm about to be killed. That alone is enough to make me want to end differently from the last time. Besides, I'm a magus. What have I been learning for the past 8 years if I can't even protect my own life? Enough thinking. Right now, I just have to counter the intruder. Even though I'm a magus, all I can do is strengthen something that could be a weapon. To fight, I need a weapon. The shed has lots of things that could be weapons, but it's too far away. If I'm attacked when leaving this room, it'll be a repeat of what happened earlier. It'll be difficult, but I have to find a weapon here. Something long and thin would be best. My opponent's weapon is a lance, so something like a knife won't do. It would be great if there were a wooden sword or something, but of course there's nothing. If anything here could be a weapon, it's... It was a metal poster, I think, though. I'm disappointed. But despite that, I'm determined even in this hopeless situation. Things are already as bad as they can be, so they can't get any worse. So all I have to do is run forward until I run out of energy. Yeah! With the words that suggested my reconstruction, I channel magical energy into the 60-centimeter long poster. I have to turn it into something that can repel that lance, so I need to channel magical energy into every corner and solidify it. Basic quality. Oops, sorry. Analyze. I extend my consciousness. As if soaking my blood into the poster through my skin, I permeate magical energy into it. A sense that I've hit the bottom, right before the magical energy overflows from it. I cut off all connection with the poster and shudder at the feeling of success. The poster is now as hard as metal, but it's as light as it was before, so I couldn't ask for a better sword. How many years had it been since I last succeeded in strengthening magic? It's kind of ironic. The magic I've been able to achieve since Kurutsugu died is finally working in this kind of situation. I might be able to do something. I have some knowledge of how to use a sword. I'll hold the poster with both hands and stand up. I'll die if I stay here, and I don't think I would be able to flee even if I escape the house. So all I can do is run straight to the shed and make a stronger weapon. Come in if you're going to come. It won't be like before, and in an instant I think that my whole spine shivers. When did he arrive? Appearing from the ceiling, the guy drops straight at me. The silver light descends upon me. The guy that seemed to have come straight through the ceiling descends to pierce my head. I frantically escape by rolling forward. He lands softly while I keep rolling, but I stop rolling and stand with my freshly made sword in my hand. He turns to face me looking bored.
見えていればいたかろうと俺なりの配慮だったのだがな。
He raises his lance again, seemingly uninterested. I don't know why, but he lacks the spirit he had at the school ground. In that case, I might be able to outwit him.
まったく一日に同じ人間を二度殺す羽目になるとはな。いつになろうと人の世は血生臭いということか。
The man is complaining as though he thinks nothing of me. I slowly move backwards. It's about 3 more meters to the window. Once out the window, I'm about 20 meters to the shed. Then I can run off this instant.
じゃあな、今度こそ迷うなよ、坊主。
He says blankly as if signing out. Pain assails my right arm. It happened in an instant. The man's lance is thrust without time for me to react. I would have faced my second death with that blow, but what prevented me was his newly made sword. He must have thought it was just paper. The lance thrust as if the poster wasn't there, and was deflected by it, only skimmed my right arm.
ほう、変わった芸風だな、おい。
The man's expression goes away. His carelessness disappears and he's now staring at me with beast-like eyes. I screwed up. I was just being stupidly optimistic when I thought I could do something. The thing being before me is a monster beyond belief. Painfully, I realized my foolishness for letting my guard down, even the slightest against him. That's right. If I'd been really desperate, I should have ran frantically to the window as soon as I miraculously avoided his first attack.
ただの坊主かと思ったが、なるほど。微弱だが魔力を感じる。心臓をうがたれて生きているってのはそういうことか。
He points his lance at me. I won't be able to block it. I can't possibly block that lightning-fast blow. If his weapon were a sword, I might have been able to at least prepare for it. But that's a lance. A sword follows a line, but a lance has a point. How am I supposed to block a blow from a point that I can't even see coming?
いいぜ。少しは楽しめそうじゃないか。
The man's body descends. In that instant, his lance is swung sideways. I blocked the lance coming at my face with just my instincts.
いい子だ。ほら次行くぞ。
Yo, you better get the hell out of there, son. There's a huge whirlwind. I don't know what he's moving the lance, how he's moving the lance in this small room, but it makes a beautiful arc and it comes to attack my body from the other side. My constructed sword moves to stop it, bends. Is he using a hammer? Damn, this numbness feels like I've broken bones in my arm.
Come on!
I swing the sword instinctively. He must take me lightly as he hasn't pulled back his lance, so I flick the shaft with my sword. The arms that hit it go numb. The sword bends even more. The man's lance has only moved slightly.
使えねえな。機械をくれてやったのに無駄な真似しやがって。まあ、魔術師に切り合いを望んでも仕方ねえんだろうが。
The man was just playing with me. He let me hit him once since I blocked him twice, but I used up my one and only chance for a makeshift attack. That's why he sees no point in fighting me anymore.
拍子抜けだ。やはりすぐに死ねよ、坊主。
He readies his lance again. During that small unnecessary movement, without looking behind me, I jump out the window. I break the window with my back and roll outside. I roll a few times, get up, and without a thought, I turn and swing behind me. The man hesitates a moment as I deflect his lance thrust. As I expected, he jumped out of the window. He would definitely come after me. And he would kill me even before I could get up. That's why I expected a fatal blow and swung at it. It was a bold plan. I would have died if it were a second too late or a second too early, but considering the difference in our skill, I could have never been too early. So all I had to do was get up as fast as possible and swing at what had been coming behind me. The result was perfect. I won my bet and deflected the man's lance. I quickly regained my balance. Now, I have to make it to the shed before he recovers.
飛べ。
The man who supposedly had his lance knocked away comes up with me empty-handed and spins and executes a roundhouse kick. The scenery flies past me. My battered chest is numb and I cannot breathe. No, what's more surprising is I'm flying. I never in my dreams thought I was sent flying by a mere roundhouse kick. I fall to the ground on my back. I hit the wall and come crashing down. I can't breathe. My vision is blurred. I manage to stand supporting myself against the wall of my destination, the shed. I track the man with my blurry vision. I must have been kicked 20 meters. The man approaches lance in hand. I'll be killed. I'll definitely be killed. The man will be here in a second. I don't want to die now. I have to get up and face him. The lance comes out at me. I can't even turn around fully, and my collapsing body faces the man's lance. How fortunate. I got lucky as I couldn't hold myself up and my knees collapsed. The lance goes over my head and hits the door of the shed, opening it. So this is my last chance. If I go into the shed, there should be something I can use as a weapon. I enter the shed on all fours. There. A fatal, inescapable blow is thrust. And I block it. I unroll the poster and make it into a one-time shield. A huge impact. The open-up poster did block the lance, but it was not strong enough. It pierced through and transformed back into its original paper. Hit by the impact of the thrust lance, I'm flung to the wall. I fall into my butt and recover myself. When I raise my head to try to find a weapon, the man is pointing the lance at me. This is it. The man's lance is pointed directly at my heart. I know this. This is the smell of death I just felt a few hours ago. I can't hear him. My mind is focused only on the weapon in front of me. It's only natural, because I'll die with when that thing is thrust. So everything else is gone from my mind. What else can I think about now things have ended like this? The man's arm moves. The movement I couldn't see before looks like it's a slow motion now. The running silver light. The spearhead moves straight for my heart. It will spill blood in the next second. I know this feeling. The feeling of metal running into me. The taste of blood coming up from my throat. The sense of the world around me disappearing. I felt it all earlier. And all I have to experience again? Really? And I have to experience it again, really? I don't understand. Why do I have to go through this? This is bullshit. I can't accept this. I can't just die here meaninglessly. I was saved so I can't die so easily. I have to live and fulfill my obligations. If I die, I can't do that. But the lance will pierce me. The spearhead will cut into my flesh and pierce my heart. It pisses me off. It's ridiculous to kill someone that easily. It's ridiculous for me to die so easily. Dying twice one day? That's ridiculous as well. Damn, everything is so screwed up I can't contain it all, and... Won't be killed meaninglessly. By someone like you. Huh? Truly it...
Nani?
Appeared like magic. In a blinding light, it appears from behind me. My mind stops. All I know is that the figure who appeared is a girl. The moment it appears, it repels the lance thrust at my heart and steps up to the enemy without hesitation. The man readies his deflected lance and the girl swings something she is holding. Sparks fly twice. A strong swing. The man hesitates, receiving a heavy blow from the girl. He must have realized that he is at a disadvantage and he jumps out of the shed with bestial speed. While keeping her guard up against the man, she quietly turns to me. Damn, girl. The wind is strong today. The clouds drift and the moon appears for a brief moment. The silver light that shines into the sheds lights up the girl knightly form. I'm speechless. Not because I'm confused by the sudden turn of events. I'm at a loss for words because of this girl's overwhelming beauty. The girl stares at me, emotionless with her jewel-like eyes.
とう、あなたが私のマスターか。
She says in a valiant voice.
Master?
I only repeat back her words. I don't know who she is or what she's talking about. All I know is that this small girl is the same kind of being as the man outside. The girl says nothing and just stares at me silently. How could I put this? The figure in front of me is so special that I forget the situation, that the man outside could come in and attack at any second. It feels like the time has just stopped around me. The fear of death has disappeared, and only the girl fills my vision.
サーバントセーバー、召喚に従い参上した。マスター、指示を。
She speaks again. The instant I hear the words servant and master, a pain shoots through my left hand. It's like a red-hot iron has been placed on my hand. I grab my left hand instinctively. That must have been the signal as the girl quietly nods her lovely
これより
face.
我が剣はあなたと共にあり、あなたの運命は私と共にある。ここに契約は完了した。
契約って何の？
Even I have some knowledge of magic. I understand what that word means. But the girl didn't answer me and looks away with the same grace she had when she nodded. She looks at the door of the shed. There stands the man, the lance ready in his hand. She moves faster than I can think. The knightly girl leaps out of the shed without hesitation. I get up and follow the girl, even forgetting the pain in my body. There's no way the girl will be a match for him. Even armored like that, this girl is smaller than me. My words are silenced by the sound. I can't believe my eyes. This time my head really goes blank.
なんだあいつ。
The sound of weapons. The moon is hidden behind the clouds and the yard has returned to its original darkness. In it, sparks are born from steel hitting steel. The lance-wielding man wordlessly attacks the girl who jumped out of the shed. But the girl parries the blow of the lance and knocks away all following attacks, driving the man back with every blow. I can't believe it! The girl called Saber is overpowering that man. The battle has begun. What happened between me and him earlier wasn't a battle. A battle is a fight between two people who can kill each other. Whatever the difference in skill, each has a way to kill the other. Then you can call it a battle. Their fight is a battle in that sense too. The man's lance, that I couldn't even see, is thrown with even more power. But the girl parries it with the thing in her hands and closes in on me. The man retreats a bit. He holds his lance vertically to protect his ribs as the girl goes for them. Yeah, get him, Saber. For a moment, the man's lance glows. It was a blow like an explosion, and I guess it really was one. The instant the man blocks the thing the girl's holding, the lance in his hand glows as if electrified. The man, and even I, can tell what it is. That is a force of magical energy so strong that it's visible. Each of the girl's blows is a terrible amount of magical energy. That outrageous amount of magical energy has penetrated their opponent's weapon just by touching it. Such a thing, it would take such force to block it. If you think the man's lance is as an accurate sniper rifle, the blows of the girls are like that of a powerful shotgun. Each time the girl swings, the yard is filled with light. But that isn't what's overpowering the man.
自らの武器を隠すとは何事か。
The man complains while avoiding the girl's fierce attacks. The girl didn't answer, but only attacks even more with that thing in her hands. The man retreats with not even a chance for a counterattack, because the girl's weapon is invisible. As he cannot sense her rage, it would be careless to attack recklessly. Yes, it is invisible. The girl definitely has something in her hand. But you can't see what shape it is nor how long it is, and you can't tell anything about it. Perhaps it's totally invisible as it does not show even when sparks fly off from it. The man must be having a really hard time defending against it, as his moves aren't sharp. And the girl lets out a voice for the first time. She swings her weapon with more fury. A storm swings without pause. Sparks flying remind me of a blacksmith hitting iron. The lance-wielding man blocks him, clicking his tongue. I must say I admire his skills even though he tried to kill me. The man is blocking invisible blows, watching only opponent's legs and arms. But that's it! You only need to beat down someone who's gone on the defensive. If I say so, the girl steps... If to say so, the girl steps even closer to the man in. Delivers a blow with all her might, smashing him down. He must see this as an opportunity as the man disappears. No, he jumped back, making it look like he disappeared. The girl's blow cuts through the air, destroying the ground and kicking up dust. The blow, swung as a final one, was easily dodged. I can tell even from a distance. I don't know about the careful blows from before, but such a big blow won't be able to touch that man. Even that man's body must have been straining under all those attacks, but he suppressed it for an instant and jumped away, as if this blow would determine the victor. The man who jumped back several meters as soon as he lands, as if reversing his retreat, jumps at the girl. In contrast, the girl still has her sword in the ground. That opening is irrevocable. The red lance returns in less than a second, and the girl twirls her body with the sword in the ground. So the contest lasts less than a second. The man sees a mistake and tries to hold back, while the girl uses her whole body to execute her blow. The man blown away and the girl who blew him away both seem discontent. They each launch their blows at each other, to kill each other. Even if they allowed them to escape immediate danger, they were worthless. Their distance opens. The two stare at each other silently.
どうしたランサー？止まっていては僧兵の名が泣こう。そちらが来ないのなら、私が行くが。
わざわざ死にに来るか。それは構わんが、その前に一つだけ聞かせろ。貴様の宝具、それは剣か？
The man glares, as if staring into her heart.
さあどうかな。
Great
戦布かもしれぬし、双剣かもしれぬ。いや、もしや弓かもしれんぞ、ランサ
ー。抜かせ、セイバー。
Perhaps it's really funny for him. The man, the one called Lancer, lowers his lance. It looks like he's indicating that he doesn't want to fight anymore. The girl is puzzled by Lancer's action, but I know that stance. It was used in the fight a few hours ago in the schoolyard. It's the fatal move that was supposed to have ended the show.
ついでにもう一つ聞くがな。お互い初見だしよ。ここらで分けって気はないか。悪い話じゃないだろう。そら、あそこでほうけているお前のマスターは使い物にならんし、俺のマスターとて姿を晒せねえ大ふぬけときた。ここはお互い万全の状態になるまで勝負を持ち越した方が好ましいんだが。
断る。あなたはここで倒れろ、ランサー。
そうかよ。たく、こっちはもともと様子見が目的だったんだぜ。サーバントが出たとあっちゃ長居する気はなかったんだが。
Seems like the air around them is distorted. Lancer lowers his stance. A chill runs through the air at that moment. It's exactly like back then. The magical energy rumbles in a whirlpool centered into that lance.
Hog!
The girl readies her apparent sword and glares at the enemy in front of her. The girl facing the enemy knows better than how dangerous he is.
じゃあな、その心臓もらい受ける。
The beast jumps. Lancer instantly appears in front of the girl as if he teleported and thrusts his lance at the girl's feet. It was a bad move, even in my eyes. With the lance already lowered, it wouldn't be effective to aim low at the girl. To prove my point, the girl jumps over the lance and moves forward to slash Lancer away. At that moment, with words themselves charged with magical energy, the lance is thrust at the girl's feet, rushes towards her heart. Her body rises into the air. The girl is driven up into the air by the blow of the lance as she crashes down. No lands on the ground. She's bleeding. The girl who hasn't even received a scratch so far is bleeding badly from her chest.
いや、今のは因果の逆転か。
I'm surprised too. Since I saw it from a distance, I could tell better than her that the attack just now was a strange one. The lance was definitely aimed at her feet, but it suddenly changed its course, moving strangely in an impossible direction to pierce the girl's heart. But the lance itself is not grown or bent. It looked so natural that it made one think that the lance was already in her heart, and for that reason it's strange. It's not as simple as the lance changing its course and piercing her heart. The lance did not change its course, but it changed the means so that the result would be so. The lance thrust with a name carried the result of piercing the heart as a premise. In other words, the process and result were reversed. As long as there was a result of the lance piercing her heart, the course of the lance was merely something added later to prove that fact. An evil thorn that breaks through all defenses. A lance that pierces the heart every time it's used. A weapon that determines your fate just by its use. How could anyone block such a ridiculous attack? However, the enemy tries to dodge it, the lance will pierce the heart without fail. That's why this move was fatal. A cursed lance that always pierces the opponent with one thrust. But the girl is evaded by a small margin. She is wounded, but not a fatal blow. In a sense, her actions were more impossible than the lance. The instant that the lance was thrust, she turned and jumped back with all her might, as if she knew this was going to happen. Either she had incredible luck, or enough divine protection to nullify the curse of the lance. Either way, she avoided the fatal blow and sullied the lance's name. The girl catches her breath. The blood that was running so much had stopped, and even her stab wound is healing. I guess that's extraordinary. I knew she wasn't normal, but still, that's too strange. Like her skills to fight against Lancer, like the incredible magical energy in each of her blows, and like her body that heals by itself, this girl clearly surpasses Lancer. But that was only up until now. Even if it's healing, the wound is deep. If Lancer attacks her now, she'll be defeated even without even being able to defend herself. But with this overwhelming advantage, Lancer doesn't move. He glares at the girl, grinding his teeth so hard that I can hear it.
かわしたな、セイバー。我が必殺のゲイボルクを。
The voice that seems to echo from the ground.
ゲイボルク。オミはアイルランドの光の巫女か。
Lancer frowns. His hostility disappears and he clucks his tongue in annoyance.
ドジったぜ。こいつを出すからには必殺でなけりゃやばいってのにな。まったく有名すぎるのも考えものだ。
The pressure goes away. Lancer doesn't even attack the wounded girl and simply turns his back and moves to the edge of the yard.
己の正体を知られた以上、どちらかが消えるまでやり合うのがサーバントのセオリーだが、 あいにくうちの雇い主は臆病者でな。槍が交わされたのなら帰ってこいなんて抜かしやがる。
逃げるのか、ランサー。
ああ、追ってくるのなら構わんぞ、セイバー。ただし、その時は決死の覚悟を抱いてこい。
With one bound, Lancer easily jumps over the wall and disappears.
待て、ランサー。
The wounded girl starts running to pursue the enemy.
バカかあいつ。
I run through the yard with all my strength. The girl will go after him if I don't stop her instantly. But there was no need for that. When the girl tries to jump over the wall, she clenches her chest and stops. I run to her and stare at her. No, I try to approach at her to call out to her, but I forget about it the instant I come near her. To put it simply, everything about her is absurd. Now that I'm near her, I can tell that the shining armor she wears is really heavy. Old-fashioned cloth is smooth but a vivid blue. No, that isn't what fascinates me. The girl who seemed to be a few years younger than me is beautiful. Golden hair, lit by the moonlight, is finely textured, as if sprinkled with gold dust. The face, with some sign of naivete, has elegance, and her white skin looks soft. I can't call out to her because I'm fascinated by her beauty, but also for another reason. Because seeing this girl fighting and getting hurt somehow makes me mad. All the while I'm fascinated with her, this girl has a hand on her chest. But that ends quickly. The girl lets her chest go and it looks up as if the pain has gone away. She stares directly at me. I'm not sure how you could talk to her, but I noticed something about her.
傷がなくなってる。
Even though it missed her heart, the lance stabbed her in the chest, but she's unscathed. I've heard of healing magics, but I didn't see her using anything like that. So that must mean that even if she gets wounded, she automatically heals. Then my brain switches gear. This is no time to be fascinated by her. She is a strange being. I can't let my guard down until I know what she is.
お前、何者だ。
I take a half step back and ask her,
何者も何もセーバーのサーバントです。あなたが私を呼び出したのですから確認をするまでもないでしょう。
セイバーのサーバント。
はい。ですから私のことはセーバーと。
She replies without hesitation. Her tone is polite, yet gentle, and just hearing it makes my head go blank. Hey, what am I getting excited about?
そうか。変な名前だな。
I have my burning face with my hand and reply really stupidly. I don't know what else to say. I wouldn't know about any such thing to say since I asked her name. Isn't it natural to introduce herself? In case it would be impolite to stay silent like this.
俺はシロ。エミヤシロって言ってこの家の人間だ。
What am I doing? Are my answers getting even stupider? But she told me her name, so I should answer too. I know I'm confused right now, but I have to be polite no matter who this is. The girl Saber just stares at me without changing her expression.
いや違う、今のはなしだ。聞きたいのはそういうことでなくて、つまりだな。
分かっています。あなたは正規のマスターではないのですね。
ね。
しかし、それでもあなたは私のマスターです。契約を交わした以上、あなたを裏切りはしない。
Crap. I can't hear her words, they make no sense to me. I can't hear. All I know is that she's calling me a ridiculous word like master.
それは違う。俺マスターなんて名前じゃないぞ。
それでは素人。ええ。私としては、この発音の方が好ましい。
As soon as she says my name, I think my face lit up on fire. Shouldn't you call someone by their last name at first meeting?
ちょっと待て。なんだってそっちの方。
Pain suddenly runs through my left hand. The back of my hand is burning. My hand feels like it's a fire, and on it is a strange mark that looks like a tattoo.
それは霊樹と呼ばれるものです、シロ。私たちサーバントを律する3つの命令権であり、マスターとしての命でもある。
お前。
Before I can finish with "Are you?", the air around her changes.
シロ、傷の治療を。
She speaks in a cold voice. It seems her attention is on something far away beyond the wall, not on me.
待て、まさか俺に言ってるのか。悪いけど、そんな難しい魔術は知らないし、それにもう治ってるじゃないか、それ。
Saber frowns a bit. I think I said something really wrong there.
ではこのままで臨みます。自動修復は外面を覆っただけですが、あと一度の戦闘ならば支障はないでしょう。
あと一度って何を？
外の敵は2人。この程度の重圧なら数秒で倒しうる相手です。
Saying so, Saber jumps lightly. Just like Lancer, she leaps over the wall and disappears outside. I'm left alone in the courtyard.
外に敵？
As soon as I say it out loud, I realize what it
ちょっ
means.
と待て！まだ戦うっていうのか、お前！
My body starts to move. Without thinking, I run to the gate with full force. I run to the gate, unlock it with trembling hands, and jump outside.
どこだ？
I search through the dark. The moon is hidden, now of all times, and it is completely dark. But I hear something
そこ
nearby.
か。
I run to the small road with no sign of anyone on it. It all happens in an instant. Saber is confronting a familiar guy in red. Saber runs to the man in red without hesitation and takes his guard down with one blow and easily slashes the man in red. Saber raises her arm to finish him off, but right before the man in red's neck is slashed, he disappears as a powerful magic is cast. Saber doesn't stop. She dashes at the person behind the man in red and easily cuts off the large spell the person launches. I knew she was strong, but this is overwhelming. The spell right there was on the level of intervention magic that I can't even be compared with. Father could use one as strong as that, but it casts naturally intervention of that spell instantly. I don't even think a first-class magus could do so. But Saber nullified even that masterclass spell. The enemy must be a magus, as the match is decided right there. The magus's attack are no use against Saber as she is mercilessly attacks the magus. The sound of someone falling backwards. The magus has miraculously dodged Saber's blow, but the enemy cannot move. Saber corners the enemy and points her invisible sword. My mind freezes, probably because the moon lights up the scene for an instant. I can tell that the figure Saber is pointing at is a human. I can't tell who it is, but the image of Saber killing someone and getting splattered with blood pops into my head. Saber moves. She will pierce the enemy's throat with the thing in her hand.
やめろ！セイバー！
I scream as loud as I can. Her sword stops. Thank God I can't see her sword. The end of the invisible sword isn't wet with the enemy's blood.
やめろ！頼むからやめてくれ！セイバー！
I address her clearing, preparing myself to do my best to stop her.
なぜ止めるのです、シロ。彼女はアーチャーのマスターです。ここで仕留めておかなければ。
No, Saber has no intention of stopping. She only stopped because I said so, and she is bringing her sword down, ready to bring her sword down at any time.
だから待てって！人のことをマスターだとか言ってるけど、こっちは点でわからないんだ。俺をそんな風に呼ぶんなら、少しは説明するのが筋ってもんだろう。
Saber doesn't answer. She only stares at me in
順番
silence.
が違うだろう、セイバー。俺はまだお前が何なのか知らない。けど話してくれるなら聞くから、そんなことはやめてくれ。
Saber is silent. Still pointing her sword at the fallen enemy, she looks at me discontently.
そんなこととはどのようなことか。あなたはむやみに人を傷つけるな、などという理想論を挙げるのですか。
Not hurting anyone unnecessarily? Well, it's true that we should avoid fights as much as possible, but I'm not so good-natured as to release someone who came back to attack me.
つまりあなたは敵であれ命を絶つなと言いたいのでしょ。そのような言葉には従いません。敵は倒すものです。それでもやめろというのであれば、令旨をもって私を律しなさい。
いや、そんなことっていうのはお前のことだ。女の子が剣なんて振り回すもんじゃない。怪我をしてるならなおさらだろう。ってそっか、本当に剣を持ってるかどうかはわからないんだっけ。いや、とにかくそういうのはダメだ。
Saber looks dumbfounded as if taken aback. How long were we standing there like that?
で、いつになったら剣を下げてくれるのかしらね、セイバーさんは。
The figure on the ground suddenly speaks. Saber suddenly concentrates her attention in her sword.
諦めなさい。敵を前にして下げる剣はありません。
あなたのマスターは下げろって言ってるのに？へえ、セイバーともあろうサーバントが主に逆らうって言うんだ。
Saber grits her teeth. But Saber lowers her sword and relaxes. Saber's hostility disappears, so she must have put away her sword as well.
さ、なら立ってもいいのよね、私。
The one on the ground stands up. She looks shameless, brushing her rear. Hey, wait a second. That sulky bird definitely... What?
お前遠坂か。
ええ。こんばんは、エミヤくん。
Tosaka Rin replies with a big smile. That gets me. She greeted me normally like that. Everything happened up to now was just like a dream. No, my head's about to explode. Jeez, how easy could things be if I did?
いや、だからさっきの魔術は遠坂が使ったってことだから、つまり
魔術師ってことでしょ。まあ、お互い似たようなもんだし、隠す必要もないわよね。
When she replies clearly like that, it makes me seem stupid for asking.
いいから話は中でしましょう。どうせ何も分かってないんでしょ、エミヤくんは。
So saying, she walks towards the entrance.
待て遠坂、何考えてんだお前。
And then she turns with a smile on her face, and the smile on her face isn't like the previous one.
バカね、いろいろ考えてるわよ。だから話をしようって言ってるんじゃない。エミヤくん、突然の事態に驚くのもいいけど、素直に認めないと命取りって時もあるのよ。ちなみに今がその時だと分かって。
She's so sassy. She glares at me.
分かればよろしい。それじゃあ行こっか、エミヤくんのお家にね。
Tosaka goes through the
なん
gate.
かすげえ怒ってるぞあいつ。
It's only natural. She had a sword pointed at her until now, and she was
い
almost
や
killed.
それにしたって。
Is it just my imagination, or is she totally unlike how she seems at school? So I'm in a strange situation. In front of me is the school's #1 idol, whom I admire, Tosaka Rin. And following silent behind me is Saber, who calls herself a servant. Oh, the hallway suddenly feels like a different dimension. But I can't be a coward forever. I'm a magus, even if I'm just an amateur. Tosaka Rin, a magus just like me, is acting so fearlessly, so I have to act firmly too. But I can only work out a few things. First, about Saber who's following me. I'm sure that she's some kind of familiar, because she calls me master and I made a contract with her. I hear that a familiar is some kind of assistant for a magus. Most magical magi transfer part of their body or something into a summon, and summon it into another self. For the other self, magus usually use a small animal. But that's simply because it's easy to take over the mind of something like that, a cat or a dog. Some magi use humans as their familiar, but they need enough magical energy to restrain a human at all times if they do such a thing. But if one constantly uses enough magical energy to control someone, it would take most of this magical energy to sustain the familiar. But that'd be putting a cart before the horse. A familiar is something that assists the Magus to reduce the burden on the Magus, and it's commonly accepted that small animals are the most suitable. So I've been taught, but...
何かあるのですか、シオ。
いや、なんでもない。
Saber looks human no matter how you look at her, and she is clearly superior to me, her master. I don't have the magical energy to control such a person, and more than that, I don't have the magic circuit to summon a familiar. So Saber must be something rather unlike a familiar. She said she is a servant. I don't know what that is, but I think the man called Lancer and the man in red with Tosaka were the same thing. Then it must be that Tosaka is also called a master. I just saw her magic skills. If I'm worth half a magus, she's worth about 3 magi. Though of course, there's no point in comparing me to other magi when I can only use strengthening magic. Anyway, Tosaka is an amazing magus. In any spiritually superior land is a family of magi that looks after the land. The Emiya family only came to this land in Kuritsugu's generation, so we're just strangers. That's why I didn't know that the Tosakas were magi, and I don't think that Tosaka knew that. Oh, my bad. There's several magi in this town that I don't know about. If Lancer is a familiar of another magus in the town, then doesn't it mean that I stuck my head into a conflict between magi?
へえ、結構広いのね。和風っていうのも新鮮だな。あ、エミヤくん、そこが今？
Saying so, Tosaka goes into the living room. Let's stop thinking for now. Let's just listen to Tosaka's story. I turn the lights on. It's already past 1 in the morning.
あ、寒っ。何よ、窓ガラス全開してるじゃない。
仕方ないだろ。ランサーってやつに襲われたんだ。なりふり構ってられなかったんだよ。
ああ、そういうこと。じゃあ、セイバーを呼び出すまで一人であいつとやり合ってたの？
やり合ってなんかない。ただ一方的にやられただけだ。
変な見え張らないんだ。そっかそっか。ほんと見た目通りなんだ、エミヤくんって。
Tosaka walks over to the broken window. Tosaka takes one piece of the shattered glass, takes a look at it, and she cuts the tip of her finger and puts a drop of her blood onto the glass. What kind of magic is this? The shattered glass combines on its own and restores itself in a matter of seconds.
Tosaka, 今の
ちょっとしたデモンストレーションよ。助けてもらったお礼にはならないけど、一応筋は通しておかないとね。もう、私がやらなくともそっちで直したんだろうけど、こんなの魔力の無駄遣いでしょ？本当なら窓ガラスなんて取り替えれば済むけど、こんな寒い中で話すのもなんだし。
She says so as if it's something natural. But needless to say, her skills are way beyond my understanding.
いや、すごいぞ、トーサカ。俺はそんなことできないからな。直してくれて感謝してる。
できないってそんなことないでしょ？ガラスの扱いなんて初歩の初歩だもの。たった数分前に割れたガラスの修復なんてどこの学派でも入門試験みたいなものでしょ？
そうなのか。俺は親父にしか教わったことがないからそういう基本とか処方とか知らないんだ。
は？
Tosaka freezes. Damn it. It seems as though I said something I shouldn't have.
ちょっと待って。じゃあ何？エミヤくんは自分の工房の管理もできない半人前ってこと？
いや、工房なんて持ってないぞ、俺。
Well, I do have that shed as my training area, But I think Tosaka would get mad if I called that my
まさか
workshop.
とは思うけど確認しとく。もしかしてあなた5大要素の扱いとかパスの作り方も知らない？
I honestly admit that I don't know. Wow, that's scary. She's so beautiful usually, so she looks so scary now.
何？じゃああなた素人？
そんなことないぞ。一応強化の魔術ぐらいは使える。
強化ってまたなんとも半端なのを使うのね。で、それ以外はからっきしってわけ？
Tosaka glares at me.
まあ端的に言えば多分。
Her glare makes my answer vague.
はあ、なんだってこんなやつにセイバーが呼び出されるのよ。まったく。
She sighs. It makes me mad. I haven't been playing around. I know I'm an amateur, but I don't think it matters right now.
まあいいわ。もう決まったことに不平をこぼしても始まらない。そんなことより今は借りを返さないと。
Tosaka takes a breath.
それじゃあ話を始めるけど、エミヤくん、自分がどんな立場にあるのか分かってないでしょ。
I nod.
やっぱり。まあ一目で分かったけど、一応確認しとかないとね。知ってる相手に説明するなんて心の贅肉だし。
I think that was a weird phrase, but I stay quiet, as I think she'll beat me up if I make fun of her now.
率直に言うと、エミヤくんはマスターに選ばれたの。どちらかの手に精魂があるでしょ？手の甲とか腕とか、個人差はあるけど、3つの霊樹が刻まれているはず。それが、
手の甲って、あ、これか。
そう。それはサーバントを律する呪文でもあるから大切にね。霊樹って言うんだけど、それがある限りはサーバントを従えていられるわ。
ある限りってどういうことだよ。
霊樹は絶対命令権なの。サーバントには自由意志があるって気づいていると思うけど、それをねじ曲げて絶対に言いつけを守らせる呪文がその刻印。発動に呪文は必要なくて、あなたが霊樹を使用するって思えば発動するから。ただし1回使うたびに1つずつ減っていくから、使うのなら2回だけにとどめなさい。で、その霊樹がなくなったらエミヤくんは殺されるだろうから、せいぜい注意して。
俺が殺される？
そうよ。マスターが他のマスターを倒すのが聖杯戦争の基本だから。そうして他の6人を倒したマスターには望みを叶える聖杯が与えられるの。
に？
Hold on. I don't understand what Tosaka's talking about at all. Like the part about masters killing other masters? The part where the winner gets a holy grail? Wait, does she mean that holy grail?
まだわからない？要するにね、あなたはあるゲームに巻き込まれたのよ。聖杯戦争っていう7人のマスターの生存競争。他のマスターを一人残らず倒すまで終わらない魔術師同士の殺し合いに。
Tosaka states so as if it's the most natural thing in the world. That phrase swirls in my head. I have been chosen as a master? Tosaka says she is a master. Familiars called the servants, and a battle to the death between other magi called the Holy Grail.
待て、なんだそれ。いきなり何言ってんだお前。
気持ちはわかるけど、私は事実を口にするだけよ。それにあなただって心の底では理解してるんじゃない？一度ならず二度までもサーバントに殺されかけて、自分はもう逃げられない立場なんだって。
That's certainly I was almost killed by that Lancer guy, but
あ、違うわね。殺されかけたんじゃなくて殺されたんだっけ。 よく生き返ったわね、エミヤくん。
Tosaka's comment finishes me off. That's right. That guy killed me. I certainly died. No excuse or negotiation was possible. I was just someone who had to be killed. So, even if I do deny this battle to the death that I can't understand, the others in it will not withdraw.
納得した？ならもう少しだけ話をしてあげる。聖杯戦争というのが何であるか私もよくは知らない。ただ何十年に一度7人のマスターが選ばれ、マスターにはそれぞれサーバントが与えられるってことだけは確かよ。私もマスターに選ばれた一人だからサーバントと契約したし、あなただってセーバーと契約した。サーバントは聖杯戦争を勝ち残るために聖杯が与えた使い魔と考えなさい。で、マスターである私たちは自分のサーバントと協力して他のマスターを始末していくわけね。
Tosaka's description is too brief for me to understand. There's one thing I do wonder about.
ちょっと待ってくれ。遠坂はセイバーを使い魔だって言うけど、俺にはそうは思えない。だって使い魔っていうのは猫とか鳥だろ。そりゃ人の幽霊を扱うやつもいるって言うけど、セイバーはちゃんと体がある。それにとても使い魔なんかに見えない。
I glance at Saber. Saber is quietly listening to our conversation. She looks just like a human being. I don't know her identity, but she's a girl about my age. Just having a girl like that near me is more than enough, so I don't get why she tells me that Saber is a familiar. And besides, my heart is pounding right now.
使い魔ね。まあサーバントはその分類ではあるけど、位置づけは段違いよ。何しろそこにいる彼女はね、使い魔としては最強とされるゴーストライナーなんだから。
ゴーストライナー？じゃあやっぱり幽霊ってことか？
A human ghost that stopped living some time ago. The remaining minds of those with strong abilities who remain in the world even after they die. But that doesn't make sense. A ghost doesn't have a body. A ghost can only be hurt by other ghosts. So as I have a body, a ghost shouldn't be able to kill me.
幽霊。似たようなものだけど、そんなもんと一緒にしたらセイバーに殺されるわよ。サーバントは受肉した過去の英雄。精霊に近い人間以上の存在なんだから。
はあ？受肉した過去の英雄。
This would be so crazy having someone tell you this.
そうよ。過去だろうが現代だろうが、とにかく死亡した伝説上の英雄をこう引っ張ってきてね、実体化させるのよ。まあ、呼び出すまでがマスターの役割で、後の実体化は聖杯がしてくれるんだけどね。魂を形にするなんてのは、一介の魔術師には不可能だもの。ここは強力なアーティファクトの力におんぶしてもらうってわけ。
ちょっと待て、過去の英雄って、
I look over at Saber. Then she's a heroine from the past too. Well, it's true, nobody would dress like that now, but still.
そんなの不可能だ。そんな魔術聞いたことがない。
当然よ。これは魔術じゃないもの。あくまで聖杯による現象と考えなさい。そうでなければ、魂を再現して固定化するなんてできるはずがない。
魂の再現って。じゃあサーバントは幽霊とは違うのか？
Okay, I'm gonna stop right here for today, guys. Yeah. Like, real, not very good night for, Emiya. Shit really hits the fan for him. But, yeah, pretty wild. But yeah, stuff's getting very interesting now. And, yeah, I think once this night's over, then we really actually get into, the game. So, yeah, I'm excited for this, and yeah, guys, let me know what you thought about the episode in the comments below.